Hello and welcome to another episode of the what?
The Hypothetical.
Oh, are you asking me or are you telling me?
El Hypothetical.
So I drugged Bob. We are in Peru. Yeah, that's right.
Buenos dias.
¿Cómo estás? Oh wait, that was last week. In Portugal. That's right, they speak proper Spanish here in Peru.
They don't speak Spanish.
In Peru they do.
In Portugal they don't.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's not proper. So I'm your main man, Batman Hobbs, and I'm joined as always by my faithful sidekick, Bob, who is the Alfred to my Batman. That's right.
Thank God I thought you were gonna say Robin.
He's not Robin, no. He's more of a definitely an Alfred. Always gets my dry cleaning. And then hooks me up with the ladies.
Not the Hobbs.
It's quite high up here in the Andes. Yes, I am familiar with this place. It is better than Portugal, but everything we've been to has been. We did one close by already when we went to Paraguay. Also better than Portugal. But right now we're in Peru, so yeah, better than Portugal. That's all I want to say. You might say, Hobbs, why are you dissing Portugal so much? Well, let Portuguese speak for themselves.
So bad.
No, it's so Hobbsy. Anyway, so what's new with you?
Oh, just having a fresh cup of coffee.
Isn't this where most of the coffee comes from? South America?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't had this good coffee for a whole week now.
Yeah, that's great stuff. I just started drinking coffee recently, and it all tastes the same to me, so shut up. Anyways, I thought we'd just jump right in. Peru is such a lovely, chilly place up high in these mountains.
Chilly?
Yeah. Oh. That's definitely a Bob joke. Anyways, I thought I'd ask you a question right off the bat.
All right.
So, you have an option here, one or the other. Option number one, every time you enter a room, the Baby Shark theme song plays. You know the Baby Shark one. Do, and copyright infringement. Or would you rather sleep in a men's public toilet every night? I'm talking about Peru, where public toilets are just shanties with holes in the wall.
The song goes away, right?
Yeah, but you have to go through the whole thing. So, like, you got the mama shark, daddy shark, grandpa shark, baby shark, and all that. So there's like 6 verses or 5 or 6 of them that you have to listen to every time you enter a room.
I'll put up with that.
God forbid you, like, have to, like, go constantly get something in other rooms all the time.
I'd have to plan my days by the hour.
You just live in a hallway.
I'd have to, like, make one big room. My house would be one big room.
Knock down all your walls. That's got to be safe for building.
Well, yeah, as long as you have the supports, you're good.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Well, you found a way around my evil question.
Yeah,
here,
so. I will choose the song.
The Baby Shark one?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll go insane, but...
How about... Does it matter where the public toilet is? Like, in a different country? Because lots of countries, they got some pretty fancy toilets. You're still sleeping on the floor, though.
I'll still take the song.
What about, like...
I do not like bathroom floors.
What about, like, a toilet in the United Arab Emirates, or, like, the richest country in the world, where it's gold everywhere, and they don't even see a person, and you could have, like, internet access in the washroom, and it's, like, living better than your house now.
It's
still a men's toilet. Yeah. All right. Well.
Now I'm thinking of that movie with Will Smith, Pursuit of Happiness.
Haven't seen it.
No.
I don't like to be happy. Or in the pursuit of.
He's sleeping on a bathroom floor with his kid because he's got no place to stay.
Oh yeah. But Will Smith's rich. Why would he sleep on the bathroom floor?
I don't know.
With his transvestite son now? What is it?
What?
Or his son, like, self-identifies as something now? Sorry, he's not transvestite. He's self-identified something. Can't remember what. But something about him is really weird.
Yeah.
Ever since that Karate Kid movie with Jackie Chan.
Ever since Sal got a tattoo of him on his leg.
Speaking about Karate Kid, I love Karate Kid. Like not the actual Karate Kid I'm in love with, but I love the show, the movies.
I've
did
never
you
seen
watch
the show.
Movies?
Never seen. Might have seen the movie. I don't remember.
You would remember.
I remember seeing the remake.
Oh, okay.
But I've never seen the original.
That'll turn you off of the original for sure.
But I don't think I would enjoy the original.
Really?
Yeah.
But we were talking about this last time. You like Everybody Loves an Underdog, right?
Yeah.
And Karate Kid is like the underdog movie that like started underdogs. Then it was like Mighty Ducks, and it started that whole trend towards pretty good movies that were all about underdogs. And you haven't seen Karate Kid.
I haven't.
No.
And I don't want to.
Wow, I'm going to sit you down, and this is punishment for something. I'm going to punish you for not picking up my laundry in time.
Have you seen The Last Dragon?
Which one is that?
That's with, was it Leroy?
Jenkins?
No, not Leroy Jenkins.
Someone Leroy I know.
Leroy, he's the weird black guy who acts Chinese.
What?
And then Show Enough is the guy that goes, "Hey yo, Leroy!"
The Last Dragon?
Yeah, I think so. Or
are you sure that's the right name? Because this sounds better than what you're describing.
no, I think it's The Last Dragon. And even like Busta Rhymes did a spoof on one of his videos as Show Enough.
This is a movie.
Yeah, I have it.
You have this
It was
terrible movie?
Yeah, it was a gift.
Gag gift, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh. You also have a William Hung CD somewhere in your house?
I wish.
My sister got that for her birthday one year as a gag, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I listen to that thing all the time. I quite enjoy William Hung. I don't care what anyone says.
What did you say to Simon in the thing? I have no professional training or something. I have no.
What?
When asked if like, have you sang before? He's like, I've never had professional training or something.
You're talking about William Hung. I thought you were talking about Leroy guy.
And Simon was like, yeah, no kidding.
You know, I've always been a fan of Simon. He's got that dry British sense of humor that only Monty Python could destroy.
Hobbs is anti-Monty
I hate
Python.
Monty Python with a passion. I don't know why people think it's funny. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be funny, but they're trying too hard. And they're like, it's just like taking a joke and shoving it down your throat. And we're like, laugh, while you're choking on this terrible, disgusting joke. Yeah. You still don't like Karate Kid.
I haven't seen it.
And you wouldn't even watch the TV show now? Cobra Kai?
Not interested.
No? Cobra Kai, man. I'm wearing my Cobra Kai shirt and everything. Actually, I went up to Fargo with my family for a vacation, and you're all thinking, Fargo, why would you go there? I'll tell you why. No idea. It was cheap.
Yeah.
So I went there in the mall, just standing there looking at the food court items. Some big butch biker dude comes up to me and just walks by, and I see on the side of his shirt it says "sweep the leg," and I'm thinking, oh, that's hilarious. That's definitely, well, you wouldn't know, but it's a Karate Kid reference, right? So I look, and he's wearing a Karate Kid shirt, and I was like, I gotta ask him because I want that shirt so bad. So I talked to this guy. We struck up a whole conversation about Karate Kid, and then he tells me where he got the shirt. So I went and bought. I couldn't find his shirt, but I found one for myself. And just goes to show you, it doesn't matter what your creed, color, nationality, how you look, Karate Kid unites all.
I think it's because
Except for Bob, he's a douchebag.
I think I was spoiled by good martial arts movies.
Good martial arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Growing up, I started.
Bruce Lee or what? What are you talking about?
Bruce Lee, Jet Li.
Oh.
Even Steven Seagal, his old movies.
No, not Steven Seagal. Really?
Not all of them, but he's got a couple of good ones where he's actually like his fighting is actually good in those movies.
No, he's like.
He's a loser now.
Uber fat.
Yeah, now he is.
Well, he pumped out. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say 480 movies that are below par.
Well, he's really weird in that he only directs his own movies now, and he only stars in them.
Name one good Steven Seagal movie. Good.
Under Siege.
Okay, I have heard of that one,
It's
but
good.
I have not watched it.
It's good. I will watch Karate Kid if you watch Under Siege.
Deal.
All right.
All right. I can't believe I agreed to that, but that's gonna be a pain in the ass.
I used to be like a big Steven Seagal fan until he became like this total big loser.
Okay,
He was, like,
how about
piece
we
of shit
do?
liar.
He always was that.
I know, but more so like he's weird now.
Okay, how about we do this? There's 3 Karate Kid movies. You give me 3 stupid Steven Seagal movies, and I will watch them.
Okay.
And you watch those Karate Kid ones. But you got to do it with your family.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're not even thinking about Steven Seagal.
I'm thinking about good Steven Seagal movies now, and there's not many.
Yeah. Well,
I can
Karate
name-
Kid will top all of these ones regardless.
Under Siege is. Let's stick to one because
No, I want you to watch all of them.
I don't know if I want you to watch Steven Seagal movies.
So this punishment is too harsh on me? Is that what you're saying?
It's like there's what was one that's not marked for death. It was Above the Law, maybe. I don't know, but they're
Oh, now he's like
they're-
some cowboy.
they're kind of crappy. Under Siege is the only
Kind of.
one. You need
Okay,
to
I'll
see.
start with the one then. Do a little synopsis for me. I might have actually seen this already.
He's a cook in the Navy, but he's like secretly like whatever
Like,
special forces.
yeah, I think this sounds familiar. This is probably the premise to all his movies.
Yeah. He's on a destroyer or aircraft carrier, whatever it is.
Does it get hijacked by some terrorists?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen this before. But to be fair, all Steven Seagal movies, he gets hijacked by terrorists somewhere along the lines.
Yeah.
So,
And you can skip
like
Under Siege
40
2
minutes
as well.
into it.
That one wasn't.
There's a second one, so it was like just as good as Speed, so they made a second one, Speed 2.
Basically, every Steven Seagal movie is there's some bad guys in his town, on his turf, doing something bad, and he's just gonna beat the shit out of them.
So it sounds like I watched another Steven Seagal movie.
I remember as a kid, I was like, yeah, Steven Seagal would kick anybody's ass. Back then,
What
sure.
about Bruce Lee? Here's the thing. Could Bruce Lee really kick somebody's ass? Because he's fast.
depends.
And he's like super fast. I'll give him that.
But he's
like,
small.
Yeah. But how can he really kick somebody's... Could he kick Steven Seagal's ass? That's what I want to know.
Well,
I don't think so.
it's hard because Steven Seagal he's big, right?
Yeah.
He's a big guy, and he knows how to fight.
He's only getting bigger.
But this is like, let's say them and like Bruce Lee in his prime versus Steven Seagal in his prime.
I still think Steven Seagal would win.
Yeah.
And I don't even
think
like
so,
Steven
too.
Seagal, so but
Yeah.
I actually am a fan of Bruce Lee. I thought he was great. Didn't like how he became an actor, but that was he started his own martial arts thing from leaving China, right?
He was born in San Francisco.
Was he?
He moved to China. He grew up in China, or he was raised a little bit, I guess. He moved
Okay.
back to America. And then he started teaching here.
Mm-hmm.
And he started making movies back in Hong Kong. And then
Which is in China back then.
and and then he did one and a little bit of a movie back in America
Okay.
before he passed away. So he was just getting big in America.
And how did he die again? It was just by accident, right?
What was it? He might have had edible marijuana mixed in with other drugs or something. I can't remember.
Bruce Lee was getting high all the time?
I don't remember the
Oh
exact
my
specifics,
God.
but he took some medication either for sleeping or for headaches or something, and it reacted.
That's like the Heath Ledger effect.
Yeah,
I think Heath Ledger would have learned from Bruce Lee.
but Bruce Lee was like the start of like. I would say he was like one of the pioneers of mixed martial arts, because he grew up learning Wing Chun. Wing Chun. And when he came to America, it was like it wasn't very effective.
Because people would just pull out a gun and shoot you
Well, he was saying
while
that
you dance and wave hands around them.
because American boxing is more effective, like for your fists, than
Okay, then the actual Wing Chun.
yeah. Like he said, I think I heard this on with the Joe Rogan podcast. Bruce Lee said like somebody who studied Wing Chun their whole life would be defeated by somebody who practiced American boxing and wrestling for a year.
Really?
Yeah. It's just effectiveness.
I feel like, well, the whole reason they had all these martial arts, different types, was to fight and counter other martial arts. Martial arts are just good against other martial arts. When you and I fight in the street and I come at you with like my fists blazing, how are you going to counter that by waving around like a round kick or something like that?
Yeah.
You know? It doesn't make sense in an actual fight. Like for your life, I don't think you would, if you knew like some sort of martial art like that, wushu or Wing Chun, and someone's coming at you just fists blazing punching style, I think you would still get defeated by a fists blazing punching style. It could be wrong, but I don't think that's meant for a fight for your life kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's more of an artistically showman fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's where like it all varies by region and country and all that kind of stuff. Because ideally, you want American boxing, some kickboxing in there, jiu-jitsu for ground stuff, some karate kicks and taekwondo kicks, and then
There's that huge crane kick from Karate Kid you could do, which is, as you can see, is not effective in the second movie. But you'll learn. You'll watch it. Yeah, I'm really sad you haven't actually watched that movie. Like the whole premise.
I'm sure I've seen it on
like
TV.
He meets this Asian guy, and when this movie first came out, every white kid in America was looking for an Asian guy to teach them some sort of martial arts. People were just knocking on doors looking for Asian elderly men to teach them martial arts. A lot of the time it didn't end well.
Wax on, wax off. Clean my car.
Yeah,
Wash my windows.
exactly. Well, you should watch it. Actually, check out the show too. Cobra Kai. It's actually pretty good. It's a roller coaster of emotion. I will throw that out to you. You want me to watch Black Mirror? I say watch Cobra Kai, but you gotta watch the movies first because it's the whole backstory is there. This is literally a movie to TV show success, in my opinion. And there's been rarely any of those. And this actually spans, I don't know, what is it? The last one was made in late 90s or late 80s. So 20 years or so that this has gone in between a hiatus. And they've actually brought it back to make it interesting. And they used the exact same characters from the movie into the TV show. So that's why I think it's pretty darn good.
You ever hear about how Steven Seagal got choked out?
By some
By a
Twinkie?
by a stuntman?
No.
I think.
But this interests me.
He was bragging that nobody could choke him out.
And it happened?
And then somebody came up behind him, the stuntman came up behind him, choked him out, and apparently Steven Seagal shit his pants. And he's been a joke. Like,
and you
a
still
bigger
like
joke.
this guy?
No, not anymore. I like his old movies, mainly one.
Well, since we're talking about martial artists, how about Jackie Chan? Are you a fan of Jackie Chan?
Yes.
Yeah?
He is a stuntman. Like, that's what he is. Like,
Oh, yeah. Well, he does his own stunts.
He does his own stunts, and he's done some crazy stunts.
Yeah, well, he's broken a lot of stuff in, like, a lot of his movies.
There was one movie where he had to jump onto, like, some pole and slide down. Like, it's this really tall pole.
Yeah.
And the pole was surrounded by lights.
Okay.
And so all those lights heated up the pole. So the whole way down, he had to hold on to this like burning pipe, pole, whatever. Or if he let go, he would fall to his death.
Yeah.
So he had to just tough it out and burn himself. And
like I like how at the end of most Jackie Chan movies, they show the credits and they show his stunts.
Yeah.
And most of them are like outtakes, right? Where he like messes up or he hits his head on stuff. And there was one where I think it was Rumble in the Bronx where he was trying to jump onto a hovercraft.
Yeah,
he broke his foot. Yeah,
they cast it up and they put a sock on that was
like a
painted
rubber. It's painted like his other shoe or whatever. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty good.
He's a tough son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was in a Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah, and he lost.
Jackie
Chan lost.
Well, he was in Enter the Dragon.
They had that ultimate fight between Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, and Bruce Lee beat him or whatever. It was that movie.
Ultimate fight.
Back in the day, where because they were like never actually in movies together, so people went back and found this movie that they were both in, and then Bruce Lee ended up beating Jackie Chan, so it made Bruce Lee better than Jackie Chan technically because of that, even though it was scripted into a movie.
Well, either way, he would beat him anyway.
Well, yeah, Jackie Chan is more definitely for show.
Yeah.
But let's not. That guy is what 50? No, he's got to be older than that. He's probably around 60 or something.
Maybe.
Apparently, his daughter is a lesbian or whatever, and she doesn't get along with him.
Oh, really?
She like posted something where he disowned her or something like that. Not to besmirch the lovely god Jackie Chan, which I do love. I loved his shows and movies.
You ever hear about that story that Jackie Chan told about going bowling with Bruce Lee?
No.
I think he was walking somewhere, and Bruce Lee saw him and hey, let's hang out. What are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going bowling, right? And Bruce Lee followed him to the bowling alley, and he didn't really bowl, but he just kind of sat there and hung out while Jackie Chan bowled.
And why would they do it together then?
And
didn't want to show him up.
People were asking like Jackie Chan, like, hey, you know Bruce Lee? And he's like, yeah, I know.
He just followed me here.
I guess he remembered him from like when he was in that movie. He played like a stuntman again.
Well, speaking of Lee's, Jet Li, did you see how he looks now?
Is he still like that old?
Yeah, he's got like some sort of disease apparently.
Thyroid?
Something like that, where he looks like this old monk now, like he's 70 or whatever, and the dude's like not even 50 yet.
Yeah.
That's sad, eh? That was the major action star when I was growing up. Jet Li. Jackie Chan was still there too, but Jet Li was more action. Jackie Chan was more comedy. But I really like Jet Li in all his movies.
You could tell in some Jet Li movies they speed things up a bit.
Oh yeah,
so it looks quicker,
faster effect.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. It still looks cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other people. Didn't Jackie Chan grow up in Australia?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he grew up in, he left Hong Kong or whatever to go to Australia. And his brother, can't remember, Willie Chan or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But his brother speaks like way better English. And for all of Jackie Chan's, there's a TV show. I don't know if you know about that. Jackie Chan Adventures.
The cartoon?
Yeah,
cartoon. I remember that.
Yeah. So the voice for Jackie Chan was done by his brother, Willie, or not Willie Chan. I don't know what his brother's name is, but he was done by his brother.
William Hung.
Yeah. It's even worse than Jackie Chan. That's funny. They got his brother to do his own voiceover acting.
You know who I didn't care for before, but I kind of like I like now is Van Damme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his movies. Oh okay. Well, we're talking about Steven Seagal and all his terrible movies. Jean-Claude Van Damme had a lot more better movies than Steven Seagal, but there was still a lot of B and C movies out there.
Yeah, like apparently he was a karate champion.
Oh hell yeah, the muscles from Brussels.
But he wasn't really a good fighter, and he was cokehead, and he had other problems.
Oh yeah, there's that show now, JCVD, right? That's what it's called. No, it's a show. I thought it was a show.
No, it was a movie. I watched it.
Oh, right.
It's basically him kind of reflecting on his life.
Yeah, I thought it was like a biography kind
and
of
it was
type.
Pretty good, and that's what made me like, oh, this guy is actually, he can act. But is he acting, or is he just that's how he is? That's
I remember him mostly from it wasn't Mortal Kombat movie. What was that fighting?
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter, yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, he was.
He tried to do an American accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't hire him for like a guile.
When will companies learn video games to movies? If you're not gonna do it good, don't do it at all.
Has there been a good one?
No. Do you remember all the Ninja Turtle ones? Oh my god, those were all terrible.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's
I remember
your young mind has blocked them out of your memory to stop you from scarring yourself.
I remember the second one had Vanilla Ice in it.
I don't even remember that.
Go ninja, go ninja, go ninja. That's all I remember.
Do you remember the Super Mario Brothers movie?
I didn't watch it.
That was terrible.
Okay, there's Mario, there's Street Fighter, there's Doom, there's Resident Evil.
Doom was good though.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That was horrible.
But I thought it was better than the other ones. It had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? So the only Doom part of that movie was the last 10 minutes or so when he goes on like a killing spree of the aliens, but the camera follows his point of view and not like it's not third person or whatever.
It sounds like shit.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. I actually had that movie.
I can't remember if I even watched it or not.
Well, you can have it. I don't even want it.
There's also it's weird. They had an Assassin's Creed movie with Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it.
I watched a bit of it. I got turned off by it real quick.
Yeah. You like the Warcraft movie?
Yeah, it was okay.
I haven't seen that.
Prince of Persia. I like that movie.
I haven't seen that either.
That's actually a really good movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. Brokeback Mountain. That was your favorite.
That was a good movie.
I actually haven't seen it.
It's good. There's another video game movie. Or no, The Witcher.
The Witcher is coming out.
They're coming out with the show on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that looks like good. It could be good.
Although people who've played The Witcher are constantly pointing out little flaws from whatever trailer they saw, and I was like, Jesus, people.
Yeah. It's not going to be exactly
Yeah,
the same.
you know, get off your high horses, no pun intended, because it was all horse-related comments. But apparently his horse was not the same color than from the show or whatever, or from the game. But yeah, that was good news. I really enjoyed that.
I wonder how it's going to be. Like, if it's going to... Will it be on par with, like, Game of Thrones, sort of, you think?
Or... Oh, it's not going to be. There's no way. I think Game of Thrones is
Game of Thrones
way
Season
too
8.
High. Yeah.
That last...
That's on a really high pedestal. The problem, I think, is... Yeah, you'll have movies like that are just really good off the bat. They're not movies, but series. And these shows are going to have to compete with that. But they're already basically written from the video games themselves. Mm-hmm. So you can't really deviate from that. So you're kind of painted into a corner acting-wise or story-wise.
Okay, here's a non-hypothetical question. What is your favorite franchise? In terms of movies, shows, whatever.
Franchise, movies and shows. Oh geez, that's a real tough one. Favorite franchise? It's not Game of Thrones. I'd like to say Simpsons, but no, they're kind of gone down.
They're gonna be on Disney Plus, eh? All 30 seasons.
Disney Plus. That's another interesting thing that'll come out soon.
Mm-hmm.
I read the list of a bunch of. It's all Disney movies, right?
Yeah.
And Pirates of the Caribbean as well. I did like Pirates of the Caribbean. I wouldn't say that's my favorite franchise, though. I don't know. Well, what's yours?
It's The Terminator.
Really?
There's only 2 good movies right now. Mm-hmm. Out of how many sequels that are just shit?
Okay.
This new one coming out doesn't look too good. It's got, like, was it James Cameron's producing this one?
Yeah. But
it still looks kind of iffy. Like,
okay. Terminators. He's coming back, right? He's doing another one. Schwarzenegger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's in it with Sarah Connor.
Okay, I'm going to tell you real quick my favorite franchise is Karate Kid.
Alright.
Thinking about it because of all that stuff. Anyways, but there's this real interesting thing on top of that. Have you seen this new movie with Robert De Niro? It's called The Irishman. And Robert De Niro is, 70-something years old?
Mm-hmm.
So they have actually CGI'd his face in that movie to make him fit the part that they wanted. So, like, I don't know how big and how good it's going to be, but if they really are still writing movies for people that, you know, like the De Niros, the Schwarzeneggers, all these people who were good, Pacino, all that stuff back when they were younger... They can actually still make movies with these guys.
They've been doing that.
Yeah, but if their like budget is maxed out, right? You can't afford to CGI Robert De Niro's face in every scene he's in if he's a main character, right?
Have you seen what's it called? Not face swap. Deep fake?
Yeah.
They've been doing that with people and it looks legit.
Did you see that one in China where that streamer got busted?
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
She was like some cute looking girl, whatever. Looks like she's in her 20s. And then she was like talking to all the streamers and everything like that. All her audience and everyone was like attracted to her. And then her deepfake thing went off while she was doing something. And she could tell she was like this 50-year-old woman. I'm not going to be angry or anything and say she's ugly. But she wasn't as good looking as it made her look out. And everyone freaked the fuck out.
It's pretty impressive what they do with when they de-age people in movies.
Yeah.
Like there's that new Will Smith movie where he's... Is it Gemini or something?
Oh, I
where it's him versus himself, but like a younger version of himself.
Oh. And
it looks like Fresh Prince. It's weird.
But I guess that's the part of the movie, though. But how do you feel about like getting that? It's kind of like lying in a way, because you're acting. You're taking an actor, and you're kind of making him pretty. Well, I guess that's what they do with the makeup and all that stuff, anyways. But you're like, this is the first time I've seen this go this far. Because, like, he's supposedly playing, like, this really young guy in this movie. It's like a war movie. Robert De Niro, he kind of looks... I don't know how to describe it. He kind of looks cartoony in a way. Because you see it's Robert De Niro's face, but you're like, that's not right. Because it doesn't look like... It looks like him, but it doesn't look like him. I don't know how to describe it.
I remember the first time I remember seeing something like this was the Tron movie.
Okay.
Where Jeff Bridges had, like, a younger version of himself. And it looked alright. What was another one? Well, Star Wars, right? Rogue One, they had Princess Leia.
Princess Leia. Yeah.
But also the other guy, the guy that passed away. He had like a really gaunt face, and it didn't look right.
The guy from who was always talking to Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought him back for that, didn't they?
Well, no, he passed away.
Oh, during that filming?
Like he's already dead, but they used CGI
so they used it. Oh, okay.
to make him back in the movie, and it didn't look quite right.
That almost reminds me of all those like the holograms when they brought Tupac back, remember? And to do some rap with Jay-Z or whatever. I don't remember if that's true, but I don't know how I feel about that kind of stuff. It's interesting. I like to see where they're at with that kind of technology.
Yeah. I don't mind the whole hologram thing. I mean,
well, it's just when you and I die, you can scare your grandchildren by recording some terrible stuff in hologram form and be like, eat your vegetables or I'll come back to life and eat you.
You know what's weird is our kids and our grandkids are going to be able to read up what we were like because of like social media.
Oh, yeah.
Like every photo.
Not unless you delete it beforehand.
Oh, unless
before
you
your death. Like on your deathbed, you have to write a contract with, it's like in your will stating that you need to delete all your browser history. Number 1.
But they're going to go back on my Facebook page and see all the things that I've said.
Yeah. Well, is that a problem?
No.
Like, who are you harassing online that
Nobody.
you need to hide from this, huh?
Nobody, not.
What's going on, Bob?
But they're going to read some stuff and be like, really? That's Granddad?
Yeah, I guess so. Well,
because I had one post, I remember. The reason why I remember it is because I posted it ages ago, and it showed up on like a memory sort of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like, yeah, one of your memories.
Like, it showed up as a memory, but for somebody else, or something. They shared it like as, I don't know. But I remember my post was, people at the gym need to wipe their bums. Seriously. And that was the post, right? One day, someone's going to read that and be like, what the hell was he talking about?
Yeah. Well, that's different. Like, I was thinking when I post stuff, I'm kind of uncensored and I post terrible things. Just like willy-nilly thoughts that I have. I can't remember. Last time I posted was like, dinosaurs are Jesus unicorns. I don't even remember what I just remember I was reading a post and I was like, oh, that's funny. It's like weird thoughts. So I posted it. If my kids saw that, they're like, what the hell was Granddad on? But I thought when I grew up, when I talked to my grandfather, I didn't know he had tattoos for like until I was like, I don't know, 10 or so. I remember seeing he had tattoos and I was like, whoa, Grandpa is like a badass? Because at that time I only thought tattoos were like for badass people kind of thing. But then like I remember after he passed away, I remember hearing like stories in my family saying, well, oh yeah, he was like a total badass. He did like no care for anything. He would like punch people, do that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, he was just like a super nice guy to me all the time. And like it changes your view on people. So like when I grow up or when my grandkids grow up and see me, it'll be like, yeah, he was a nice guy to us as well, but he was a total dick to everybody else out there.
It's weird when you hear things about like, your granddad that you, because my granddad passed away like a long time ago, like, when my dad was a child. Mm-hmm. But you hear stories about him, and it's like, really? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Apparently, my grandma was in jail. I had no idea for like the longest time. Mm-hmm. I did talk to her a lot about it. She didn't like talking about that. Was like during the war and that kind of stuff. So it was different times back then.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, my granddad punched an officer or something. Like he didn't agree with something, and then he hit him.
Oh yeah.
Like I wonder if I punched my boss, if it'll be remembered the same way.
That's funny because my granddad punched a prison guard. They had like normally you get shot for that kind of thing, but I think the guy in charge of the camp was my granddad's relative. So he just sentenced him to like hard labor instead. But yeah, hearing stuff like that, it's like, wow, he was a badass. Yeah. I wish times were a little different where I could treat people like that too.
It's cool. It's cool stories, but then What cool stories are your kids and grandkids gonna have about us?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's different though because
Granddad play a lot of video games.
yeah, exactly. Because it's different time,
different
right?
times.
We didn't grow up through. Well, there's still time throughout some war that we'd have to fight for our lives and kind of thing. Well, this
Oh,
is.
my granddad was an idiot. He punched his boss and he went to jail.
Did you hear that the U.S. military uses Xbox controllers for their drones and those missile-guided drones and stuff
Didn't
like
know
that? Yeah. So there's still time for us to make our part.
It makes sense. I mean, if you know
Yeah,
how
it's
to use
easy
it,
to control, I guess. Yeah.
and it's it's easy to hook up to the PC, right?
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's Microsoft.
Yeah, USB. That's all you need to join the army. USB. Be all that USB. I read something on Twitter recently. Did you know that there's this whole thing about Seth Rogen and his mom was using tweets to talk about having sex with her husband?
No.
And so everyone saw it before Seth Rogen did, so everyone was telling Seth Rogen not to look at it. So he didn't know what was going on, so he looked at it and he saw that his mom was talking about having sex with his father. It was some like innocent tweet like husband is sick, so he says kisses during sex don't have germs in them. Something stupid like that. So, there's something that Seth Rogen's kids will see in the future about their grandmother and grandfather, right? Maybe that's why I don't have a Twitter account or anything else besides Facebook, I guess.
I have a Twitter account. I think I posted one thing on there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I tried making a Twitter account for this podcast, right? And then I got insta-banned.
It's like, oh, this guy.
No, I didn't do anything. I tried following Tom Hanks was the one thing I tried doing, and it said I hadn't used the account for like 7 days, so I got insta-deleted or insta-banned or something like that.
That's weird.
And it was like contact our servers to get it reversed or something like that. I had no idea that was a thing, so that was my experience with Twitter.
I use Twitter to follow a few like news things, enter contests, and that's about it.
Okay, that's like I tried doing that with Facebook. That's mostly what I do. Well, you got a question for me?
Yeah, I was Googling the largest sperm the other day.
Do you want to explain why, or is
No.
this just something we're all gonna
I don't need to explain
all gonna
myself.
think about?
I just need to Google certain things time to time.
Oh yeah, we all do. Normally, no one confesses to it, but you just willy-nilly outed yourself. But sure,
So I wonder, like,
all over the YouTube.
I was like, I wonder if any animals have like tadpole size sperm. Which, anyways,
You're talking about like not human size. You're talking about like the actual tadpoles that you see
The actual
swimming around.
tadpoles.
So like I don't know, 3-4
the actual
inches.
cell, the actual unit, whatever it's called, the sperm, the single sperm, the little swimmer. Apparently, the biggest one is the fruit fly, and the way it works is
You're talking about relative to its own size?
relative to no, in general.
No, it can't be a fruit fly because I have probably sperm that's bigger than a fruit fly. Well, I do. I've measured them.
Apparently, the fruit fly sperm, it's coiled up.
Oh,
So
okay.
it goes in, and when it's elongated, when it's spread out, it's like 6 inches. No, sorry, 6 centimeters, something like that.
Okay.
I gotta look it up, but it's a ridiculously long
Yeah,
length.
you keep googling that.
And it
That
has to,
won't get you red flagged anywhere.
it has to do with because it's so small. In order to prevent others from impregnating another fruit fly, this really long sperm has to like block others, or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's
This is a great story.
did I Google this or did I
Are you
write
dreaming
this
this?
myself? Anyways,
I'm enjoying this.
related to my hypothetical question,
Yeah, where were you going with it?
what if humans only had one single sperm?
Like, what if they only had one?
Yeah, so you had to like.
But were you guaranteed to get pregnant then?
You're guaranteed. You have one single, let's say it's like one mighty sperm that you have. Can't jerk off. you'll lose it.
Oh, like you're talking about you don't replenish them at all.
No, you don't replenish them.
How would the human race survive then?
Exactly. You have one.
But don't you need to at least make two in order for each generation to progress? Because if you only have one, then it would just constantly decrease, right?
I never thought of that.
Well, I'm thinking about it right now.
Let's say two.
Okay.
You get one, you get another.
Wow. What if you just have like, you haven't done anything for a while and you just had like this really sexy dream and you lose one and it's not even your fault. You can't do anything about it because you just dreamt stuff.
Then that goes on your resume.
Do you just have to like walk around with a baggie, a Ziploc bag over your penis all the time in case it accidentally falls out and you could just bag it and save it for later?
Freeze it? I don't know.
Just stick it in the freezer when it comes out.
That's why it's hypothetical.
This is the weirdest.
It's not a if or, would you rather.
Did we change bodies or what's going on? Like, why are you thinking of these gross ass questions?
I don't know. I googled sperm size.
Well, that's
remember
something you and your girlfriend are going to talk about later.
I remember seeing a movie or something where it was a sperm that shot out of a guy or something. It was like one giant one that slithered away. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, yeah.
I vaguely remember this.
You saw this movie, huh? Well, I like how we all led up to this one point about talking about how future generations will see us. And they will see this probably if YouTube is still around. Wow, I really don't know. What if we only had two, you're saying?
Mm-hmm. You'd have to be very selective of who you're with.
I think you kind of have to do that now anyways, right?
Well, no, I know, but you have to be like
So you're saying there's no amorous people out there? Like, there's no, for lack of a better word, sluts and man-whores?
Yeah, you can't just sleep around. You can't.
Unless they didn't want kids and they could just... I think this would cause the fall of the human race, to be honest, because people would waste them willy-nilly. Like on a drunk night, out at the bar. Bars probably wouldn't be a thing.
There would have to be laws in place.
Whoa, now you're getting like...
Like if this was like the norm.
Now you're getting all Chinese on me here.
You only had two. It would change the human race. There would be
so much change.
There would be laws in place to prevent you from drinking, perhaps.
I don't see why, but...
Well, because you will do something stupid and you'll waste your sperm. You'll put the human race at jeopardy by going out drinking.
I love how everyone has to... sperm has become a commodity.
It is.
So, what you're saying is when there's rich people out there who have wasted their sperm earlier in life, they could purchase poor people's sperm and be like, well, I want another kid. I'm going to buy your sperm for like $100,000. And people would be... Sperm banks would be like basically gold mines. The whole currency of the world would be based on sperm. Never mind the gold standard, you'd have the sperm standard.
You have to go for like medical checkups to ensure that your sperm is there before you get married. Because people would be like...
So like, what if you had sex without finishing? That still counts? Oh, who's got the willpower for that though?
Like, what's the point?
Wow, I really don't know. That would really mess up a lot of things in the human race.
It's a whole different world. And that's why I thought about this question.
Well, I like how you led up to it, the whole random sperming, Googling. I still don't think that the fruit fly, wow, that's crazy. I would never have thought, like the smallest insect. Well,
I think it's like the smallest creatures have the biggest.
Are we talking the smallest part of the human?
No.
Well, we all know the first thing you do when you buy yourself a microscope, that's the first thing you look at. FYI, clean your hands when you're using my microscope.
You have a microscope?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I? What do you think I'm looking at? Burgers and sperm. Well, that's an interesting question. That would really mess up the human race. You're right. That would lead to some sort of...
You'd have to pay fines or something.
It would be like some sort of, for lack of a better word, nationalist system from 1939 to 1945 with some one dictator in charge who would be like slamming this belt on the table. You're not allowed to touch this.
You must follow the abstinence law.
Yeah, until you're selectedly perfect mate who has been matched up to you through various stupid charts and survey questionnaires. How do you feel about pickles? Oh, don't like them. Well, there goes all the hot women. There goes all the Australians.
What a messed up world it would be.
I'm glad you think of that kind of stuff.
All the time.
Way to bring down... I was on such a good high today. All happy. Let's throw Bob some easy questions. Let's not get some anger out. And, Bob's bringing my feelings down.
We'll put it this way. After the show, you can jerk off and you won't be arrested.
Oh, you're right. Well,
it's a free world.
Not when I do it in public places. What? Wait, hey, why are you arresting me? Bob said I couldn't. Bob said I had immunity. So our next podcast will be in 5 to 15 years. And not in a playground close to a school. So.
Hobbs, the registered sex offender.
I'm going to start every podcast with, "Hi, I'm Hobbs, and I'm here to tell you, due to court of the United States of America, I am a registered sex offender. Welcome to our podcast."
We're here in the same prison.
We're here 100 feet away from a school that I'm not allowed to be near. Well, I think that'll... You got an outro you want to say?
I have no outro. Just enjoy yourself.
You know what? Thanks to this question, I want everyone to go out there and have a great jack-off session.
Knock one off for us.
Rub one out for freedom.
Adios. Buenas
Adios,
noches.
amigos.